At their next lesson, these writers will be ready to edit their pieces. The amount of editing they do will depend on who the reader will be: a friend, a teacher, a customer, or a potential employer.
It will also depend on the writer's level of experience. Tutors and teachers need to be careful not to overwhelm a beginning writer. It's better to work on a few important things that the learner will remember next time than to overwhelm her by insisting on a perfect end product.
Let's see how Jane does that. After the women in the group were satisfied with their revisions, Jane typed each piece so they would be easier to edit. She typed exactly what the learners had written. Let's watch how she helps Barbara use her editing list to work on the piece about her mother.
What's the first item on your list here? Is capital letters. All right. And you've got that you want to really work on using capital letters at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, let's go through and where is the beginning of each of your sentences? That'll be the first thing to talk about, that you need a capital letter. Can you mark on that? Where's your first one? Right here, okay. Do you need a capital there? All right. All right, why don't you put that right in there? Love my mother and father.
My mother.
Okay. Is this one sentence here?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. And so where do you need a capital M there? Good.
Okay, my mother taught us to say thanks and help other people, and my mother was a good lady.
Good, excellent. So we've put in the capitals that we need at the beginning of the sentence. And you've already really taken care of the second one too, because we were looking at working on periods at the ends of the sentences. So did we miss any? Have you got a period before, at the end of each sentence and before each capital that begins the sentence?
Yep.
Okay, great. Now there was one other thing I noticed in this piece of writing, and it has to do with two words that sound alike, but they're spelled differently. And that's this word no, right here. You've got, when I was coming up, my mother let us know what we were doing, something right or wrong. Okay? Now there are two kinds of no, if I can show you on this. There's N-O and K-N-O-W. All right?
So I should have put this one.
What does K-N-O-W mean?
No. Let you know, but she had what we was doing right away.
Right, so okay, so she understands and she gave you. Which word goes in this sentence? I blank how to drive.
I know how to drive.
Okay, why don't you write that in there? And?
There's no sodas left.
Okay. No sodas left. All right, when you go back to your story here, read that first sentence again, and which one do you want to put in?
This one.
Okay. Were there any words in here that you weren't sure of in terms of the spelling when you were writing it?
Yeah, this one.
This one, okay. What word is that?
Wrong.
Wrong, all right. And what you've got down here sounds very much like what we say. And in this case, we've got the word wrong. Wrong. Okay, it's got that sound there.
Okay.
Not exactly wrong, but wrong. Okay, N-G.
Only thing I need to do is put the G.
Is put the G on there, right. So why don't you write it in there, and then we'll add that one to your list.
Notice that there are other things that Jane could have helped Barbara correct. Things such as the endings on coming, showed, and picked, or the spelling of words like when and taught.
But she chose not to. Jane knows that becoming a good writer is a gradual process. Her most important job right now is to make sure that these adults have a positive experience, that they see how writing can help meet their personal needs, and that they want to continue to write. Did she succeed? Let's listen.
I started writing poems because I wanted to do that, like putting the words in, like love and hope and time and faith.
In my poetry, I wrote about Christmas, and I wrote a love poetry, and I wrote one about my baby brother and I, how far different we are in ages, but we still get along like we was born together. So, and when I read it, after I write it, it sounds, it sounds kind of great. So my mom said, you should be a person that should publish a book on your own, just all by yourself. I said, well, I don't think I'm that good yet, so I'm still trying. And the more I try, it seems like the better I get at it.
A long time ago, I couldn't write. I couldn't do none of it. But I remember about a month ago, I sat there and I wrote a good letter. And I let my sister, I kind of felt embarrassed, but I had to let my sister read it. And she told me, you did pretty good. I said, yay, I did it for the first time.